So close. It's a nice, beautiful Saturday today. Finally stopped snowing. Looks like most of the storms have passed. It's in the 60s today. I think it's like 65, something like that. Well, let's see if we can get this thing to start. Been sitting for a long time. There's no radiator cap, at least what's left of it. Yeah, so we'll get at it. So I would say, by the size of that carburetor, this probably is in the late 60s. I have never seen a carburetor like that. So I would say in the 60s somewhere. I don't know if it's late 60s, but I'd say in the 60s. V8, he changed the oil on it, turned the crank by hand. She's not seized, so that's good. We're gonna pull the spark plugs out and take this valve cover off. And so she'll turn over easy. And we're gonna crank it and make sure there's oil getting to the top. Once that's done, put some water in it. Doesn't have any water. Put the spark plugs back in it, see if we can get some fuel up to it. And looks like the fuel lines are down there. Nope, those are transmission lines. Fuel lines are probably over there. That's probably it right there. Yep. See if this battery's got any juice in it. We'll see if we can get it to fire up today. Going to start with marking the spark plug wires so I don't get them all mixed up. I'm just going to use Roman numerals. Now we'll get these spark plugs removed. A little black, a little burnt. Got some buildup on them. We'll give them a good cleaning before we put them back in. I mean, once we're all done, put new spark plugs in. But first, we gotta get it running. Make sure it's worth putting time and energy into it. One thing that's nice about these older trucks is how much room there is to work with. These things so much easier than newer vehicles. And I can't get over how tiny this carburetor is. I almost wonder it's even in the 50s. I remember my Uncle Delbert's Chevy Bel Air had little carburetors like that. I have no clue what this thing is. Okay, well, there's that. Now we'll get a valve cover off. And we'll do that side. We'll crank this over so we can get some oil to the top. Make sure that's working. Well, it's one bolt to different size. There's oil sitting up here. The battery's dead. I'm gonna put in my trailer battery. See if we can get something out of this thing. Alright, something else must be going on because she's not even trying. A bunch of wires over here. What's this thing? It's kind of funny, but let's see if that'll do something. We might do this old-fashioned way. Put a screwdriver in here. Woo! I don't think she's connected. Maybe. hit the starter sheet. All right. Might be a missing bolt. I haven't seen any oil pumping up here yet. That's how we test. Nothing. I don't know. Said he put oil in it. Change the oil. Maybe he needed to change the oil. Come on. There's nothing on there. Alright, let's go get some oil. Assuming that's probably the fill tube, but we're just gonna take this off. No, gasket. Alright, gonna break it. Doesn't seem to be leaking on the ground, so we'll keep putting fuel in. I like how clean it is. Some of these older motors, you open them up and there's just sludge buildup everywhere. I believe it was running when it was parked out in the field. She is thirsty. There we go. Getting in there now. Now let's crank it up. Hopefully this doesn't need to be like primed. There's some vehicles out there you have to prime them. Prime the oil. Well, it dropped. Might be filling up that oil filter. Pumping gas, apparently. Really old gas. New one, microgard. I need to put some oil in it. Oil coming out. Might be getting close. Some fresh oil. It does look like more oil over here than there was before. Maybe it is pumping oil now. And I just can't see it. I can hear it. I thought that was the carburetor bubbling. I can hear bubbling. Oh, squirting. Getting there. There it is. Alright, good news. I thought it came out of those little holes. Might dust off this because I know I've dumped some in here. And I'm going to try and fire this thing up. It's a little starting fluid. That blows me away. Gas coming out of there. Really old gas. Oh yeah, really old gas. I have a tool for jumping the starter. And of course, it's at work. Squirt a little wake up juice in here if I can. It'll help if the tip's broken. Get that off the screwdriver, so I'm going to spark it down here. Boy. That starter's definitely missing the top bolt there. Just want to hear it one time, baby. Alright, she wants to live. Let's figure out what we're going to do next. Alright, I think the next plan of action is get some water in here. I'd like to figure out the bolt for that starter, and I'd like to figure out the ignition key, why it's not working. So we'll probably start with water for now. Alright, got a gas tank hooked up. Be nice if I didn't have to do anything with that carburetor. Let's see what she does. Starter's getting worse and worse. I might just have to fix that starter. It's getting pretty bad. Alright, got a starter tightened down, got a starting thing with an actual swing on it. Oh, baby. Leaking so much gas. Well, poo. Let's see, we'll check something. Got the spark plug out. Let's see if we got any spark. Oh, it's not a very strong spark. Well, I don't think she's gonna start today. She got gas everywhere now. Well, it's a little disappointing. I was hoping to start it today. I'm gonna have to figure out a couple more things. The carburetor for sure needs work. I almost wonder if it needs new spark plugs. The spark is pretty weak, unless it needs a new coil or something. So close. Dang it. Alright, well, on to the next one. Taking this carburetor apart. These floats are stuck down, stuck open. Let's set some pumps extra fuel in it. Gasket looks okay, but I'm gonna see if I can make a new one with the cricket. But I get that out and cleaned, and that's what it looks like inside. Got it all torn apart. Got the little pieces everywhere and cleaned. Hopefully I'm not missing anything.
So we're doing the sail now. We did the sail now.
Not yet.
Yes, we are.
No, I gotta put this back together.
Let's dry.
Before I forget. All right. We'll try a few different things here now. Here's the new key. I can turn it on and off. And push button starter. Choke this thing. So we got it disconnected. Maybe. Well, this is very sad. Replaced the distributor. Checked all the wires for spark. She's in time. And done a compression test on 2 cylinders, and that's all I'm getting. Thinking maybe there's something wrong with my compression tester, so I put my thumb over it while cranking it. Can't even get it to blow my thumb off. Doesn't seem to be a valve adjustment up here. May need to go do some research, see what I can figure out. The more I dig into this thing, the more this thing got parked because they couldn't get it to run, because it's a new Points condenser. Some spark plugs are different than other spark plugs, and there's another carburetor in the back of the truck. So this thing wasn't just parked and left because no one wanted to drive it. It was parked and left because they couldn't get it to run. It's not looking good. Might need a rebuild, especially with no compression. She'll almost fire. It's gotten a lot closer with the new distributor, but it still just does not want to do it. Not having any compression is that's going to cause some problems. It's going to cause a lot of problems. I'm going to go do some research, see if it can be, the valves can be adjusted. If not, I would assume so. A lot of the trucks are, but unless it's down in here somewhere, unless it's like bad lifters or something, I don't know. We'll get back at it.
New information. So, working on this truck, I really wanted to surprise Aaron with it, get it running, and tag him and just be like, hey, check this out. Well, since I can't get it running. I had him come check it out. Got some backstory. So I was wrong. It was running when it got parked. His grandpa gave him the truck. He went and picked it up from his house, drove it to his house, and parked it. And it's just been sitting there this whole time. It was running when it got parked. And it's the truck's been sitting for 10 years. Aaron started cleaning out the gas tank, and it ended up at my house for storage for a minute, and then I decided to try and get it started. So it's weird that it has no compression. Here's my theory, because the engine does seem to be cranking slow, and reviewing some of the footage, I don't think the oil ever got to the very front of the engine, of the cylinders. It only got like through the first 4 valves. It never like got through the last 4 valves, and I never double checked that. My theory is the oil is not getting all the way up to the front because the engine's cranking so slow, and I've got stuck lifters. There is no way to adjust the valve lash. It's all fixed. And I'm thinking the lifters down in the engine that push up on the push rods that control the valves are sticking, and it's causing the valves to be slightly open, and that's why I'm getting like 0 compression in half the cylinders. The weird thing is, if I let it sit for an hour without trying, and I hit it with some starting fluid, it'll like almost start, and it's been getting closer and closer, and cranking, starting a little bit longer. But then it won't do anything for like an hour, and it's got to sit, and then it'll do it again. It's really weird. Timing's all correct. I've triple checked it. I've got spark everywhere. The no compression baffles me, and that's where I think the valves are slightly open because of sticky lifters and causing a no compression issue. So now that I got Aaron on board, he's going to be buying some of the parts. I'm going to start with a starter. Slap it in, see if that'll help crank it faster and get more oil everywhere. If that doesn't do it, the next step would be to take off the intake and start replacing lifters and see if that'll get her to run. The next thing after we get the engine running is hooking the fuel tank and getting it all put back together and put in, because it's just sitting in the back right now behind the seat. It needs to get bolted down, needs a new sending unit. Once we get the truck running, we got brakes to deal with because the brakes don't work. After that, we got a bunch of body work. So it's going to be interesting. It's probably going to take a good year or so to get it start to finish. So stick around. We'll see how far we can get this truck and how good we can get it. So we'll see you in the next one.
Well, dang it. Thought for sure she'd go.